This is the stock seat. This is the high-rise seat. Should be stock on the left, custom seats on the right. I put my new seat concepts seat on this morning, the tall, and immediately getting on the bike you could tell it's a much taller seat. I was flat-footed on this. Now I'm up on the balls of my feet, which, hey, that's fine. I'll trade that for a softer ride for my fat butt. I guess I could talk some about early impressions of this bike. Talk about the negative first, so we can just get that out of the way. For me, this is just my opinion, my personal experience. For me, the seat absolutely sucked. The factory seat was uncomfortable. It mashed you up against the damn tank. It was a ball crusher. Now, I can't describe the difference in the ride now with this seat concept. It has changed the character of the ride entirely. I really like it. So that's probably the biggest negative, was the damn seat. That was correctable. Let's see, the next negative would be the lights on the instrumentation. The indicator lights right here. Those 6, they're very difficult to see in the daylight. Damn near impossible, unless it's a really overcast day. I would like to see Zongshen double the size of the lights, and as there are 6 of them, if you doubled them in size, you could put 3 on one side of the digital display and then 3 on the other, where the mode button and trip button are. Now you'd have to relocate those 2 buttons, but I suspect they could be relocated up in the corners, top left, top right corners, and function quite well there. That'd be the other negative. Another negative would be the factory front sprocket. I really had to drag the clutch coming from a dead stop. It just seemed excessive. No, I didn't care for that. I have the 13 tooth on there now. Now the factory sprocket was a little easier on your top end miles per hour. The 13, right now being restricted to the 6,000 RPMs, is difficult to stay up with the flow of traffic. So I didn't care for the sprocket. Again, that's a personal issue. windscreen. I'm a little over 6'2", and most of my height is from the waist up. This windscreen really kind of puts the wind right in my face. It could be different for different riders. I suspect, now that I have the taller seat, it's going to be worse. But we'll see. I mean, right now I've got my helmet on with the face shield down. I don't always wear my helmet. Unlike many, I prefer not to wear a helmet. But I am today. Really, that's the only negative issues I have. And again, for the most part, it's personal comfort. So take them for what they are. Now the pros, the positives. This bike is just a hell of a lot of fun to ride. It rode well, handled the road well with the stock seat. I see only improvement from this point forward with the high-rise seat on it. You sit in the machine more than you sit on the machine. It's really a nice feeling. You're part of the machine. The bike handles correctly. And what I mean by that, where you point your eyes, this bike will track. Now, I was worried after switching over to the Kenda dual sport tires that maybe that might alter the handling of the bike. Not a bit. These Kenda dual sports are as comfortable on the road as they are for moderate trail riding off-road use. They track well. They handle gravel roads well. Obviously, hardtack they handle well. And they're comfortable on grass and dirt. You're not going to do any hard-nosed, hardcore off-roading with this bike anyway. At least I'm not. So these tires are more than adequate for what I do off-road, which is field right-of-ways. Where I live here, we got county roads that are nothing more than dirt paths. Sometimes they even get mowed. But this thing with these tires on are perfect for that. The ergonomics are splendid. Zongshen did a great job. They really did. The tack, I love. The digital display, I love. My only issue up there are the indicator lights, and I've already talked about that. The buttons are pretty straightforward for any bike, with the exception of the auxiliaries over here, which I like. I'm not using either one, but if I decide to add auxiliary lighting, all I got to do is plug and play, and there you go. One thing stock from Zongshen on this bike on the controls here that I absolutely love is the headlight flicker. Man, I'd love to see that mandatory on every North American bike. I think anything you can do to add visibility is a good thing. Now, my helmet is, there you go, high resolution orange. And I either wear a high resolution orange shirt or this fluorescent green. When I ride, that's what I wear. I just think more is better. The panniers and the trunk, yes, they are resin, but they do the job they're designed to do quite well. They look good, they hold a surprising amount of stuff, and they're handy. They're damn handy. So, yeah, I know people knock because the trunk won't hold a helmet, but you know, if you did your research before you bought the bike, you would have known that. One knock I do have on the controls, and this is only because I'm an old Harley rider, and that is the auto-canceling turn signal. I really would like to see Zongshen pony up and put auto cancelers on. That would, boy, that'd be handy. They're just nice. What else do I like about the bike? I love the fit and finish. This is not your days gone by shoddy Chinese craftsmanship. This is some top shelf stuff. The metal work, the paint, the finish on the plastics, everything is superb. It really is. The mill work on the components, fantastic. You cannot lump this bike into the old phrase of Chinese junk. It simply is not. So, my final thoughts on the bike, my final score, I guess I should say, on a scale of 1 to 10. Big subtraction for the seat, minor subtractions for the indicator lights and the windscreen. I rate this bike, for me, fit, finish, ride comfort, handling, fuel economy. I rate this bike a solid 7.5. And for me, the seat took away at least a point and a half. So with the addition of the seat concept seat, which is an extra $250 from CSC Motorcycles, you're up to almost 9. You are up to 9. This is a hell of a motorcycle. It is a tremendous bargain. I was fortunate enough to get my money down and get in on the lower pricing, and I'm thankful for that. But even at today's pricing, this is still a bargain bike. So if you're watching this and you already own one, good experience with it, you know exactly what I'm saying. If you are watching this and you've had one of these and you hated it, and I know there have been a few, or your experience wasn't as pleasant as mine, well, who I'm really talking to here are those of you that are either just stumbled across this bike or are actively doing the research and considering buying one. My advice to you is to pick up the phone, call California Scooter Company, CSC Motorcycles in Zillah, California. Ask to speak to Ryan and tell that nice man that you want to put money down on a bike. You are missing out. You really are. The quality, the fun, you can't be matched. This bike stacks up against anything comparable that the Japanese are putting out. I love a lot of Jap bikes, and that's what I'm basing this on. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, that's great. If you found it annoying, I'm sorry. If it helps you make up your mind, that's fantastic too. If you have a bike sitting in the garage, sitting in the barn, sitting in the shed, sitting in the yard, get out there, throw a leg over it, and get down the road. Make some memories, make some smiles. I'll see you in the next one, riders. Bye.